What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the CRWN Cinema Podcast. In this episode, we literally just watched Baby Driver. That's how you do a car chase scene.
Yeah.
You really can't get better than that.
No, and I loved how stylistic it was the entire time, that it was all kind of synced up to music from the gunshots to whenever he shifted. And I liked how even the pace, you felt very much with him the entire time. He's kind of when he's fast paced, the camera's fast paced. When he was kind of down, the music was down. You know, when he's up and ready to go, it's fast paced music and jazz and steady drums and trumpets and stuff.
Yeah, because Edgar Wright's always known for his music, and this is a movie where he just straight up, I think when he wrote the movie, he wrote the music into the script, which is a rule you're not supposed to do. When you write movies, you're not supposed to attach yourself to music because it's really hard to get the rights sometimes for a song that you want. A lot of times you have to settle because the company, they might not want to give it to you or it might be too expensive, so it's not in your budget. But he said, fuck it, and just went in and wrote every single song into the script. And then luckily he got every song he wanted to. So the music plays such a huge role, and he's always had, heavy music. I mean, Scott Pilgrim, we watched that recently. That's got great music in it.
Yeah.
Same with this movie. It's all about the music.
Yeah. So I feel whenever that's kind of the point is the music is what drives the tempo of the entire movie. I feel you can write it like that when the music is such a pivotal part of it.
Well, I'm saying practically.
Yeah, I see what you mean. I just mean so let's say writing it into the script is not necessarily, I mean, he went in knowing what song he wanted specifically.
I'm saying every single song that played, he planned that in the script. When he wrote the movie, before he had funding, before he had anything, he wrote the script and just the storyline and added that music in.
Okay, because I guess what I'm envisioning is if you're writing this script of, a music-based kind of movie, I guess you can say that. I was envisioning writing a scene and kind of assigning the genre of music or maybe the tempo to each scene. You're telling me he picked out the name of the song.
Yeah, every the specific song, he wrote that in the script.
Interesting.
Yeah. This is your first time watching it.
Yeah.
You enjoyed it?
Yeah, I've been wanting to watch this for a while. I mean, that poster's been hanging up in our apartment since we moved it, at the fraternity house. And so this was one that I missed whenever it first came out, but I can't believe it's taken me this long, especially with the A-list cast.
Yeah. It's a popular movie, but I feel not that many people have watched it because it's kind of a not weirder movie, but it's Edgar Wright. He kind of has kitschy styles. It's very much, he's playing a lot to the movie and to the theme of the movie. The characters' names, the way they talk, the way they act. It's all very romanticized for the movie. Super stylized, right? He has his own unique style.
And I like that because it's whenever you have a movie that's all over the place, it's kind of you can't feel connected to it. And I felt very connected to the character because it's all centered around him. We're supposed to be walking with him this entire time. And that's where
driving with him.
Yes. When the music and then even those scenes where we hear what he hears in his ears, the music, and then that split second we hear him drown it out and what the music really does for him, which is just drown out that ringing.
Yeah.
And that was pretty cool.
Yeah. All right. So what do you rate it out of 10?
I would give it a 7.5. I enjoyed it. It's just not, I guess, my type of movie, but I really like the cast and I really like the choices that it made for us to be able to enjoy it more. And I do like that it was centered around music. The music was very good.
Let's just note that you rated the Roadhouse remake a 9 and you just gave Baby Driver a 7.5.
Because I don't know. I just didn't enjoy it as much as I enjoyed Roadhouse. I will die on that hill. I don't care.
All right.
That one's just a senseless, I don't know if I'll ever be able to justifiably pinpoint why I gave it a 9.
It's not a master. It's not a master class in filmmaking. The Roadhouse remake.
Yeah,
but it's fun to watch.
Yeah, the amount of enjoyability that I got from it. I haven't felt that way about a movie in a long time. Hey,
I love this movie because of course, the chase scenes are super badass, very well done. I love the music again. I love how Edgar Wright put so much attention to the music and having everything on beat. So much so when he made the movie, everybody had iPods that were synced up to each other, so everybody was on beat to the music. Like, when you really watch it, every single time I watch it, I notice something more words to the music.
Yeah.
It's pretty insane. So I love that. The story's good, and there's nothing spectacular about it, but it does keep me interested and engaged. So I would probably give it. I do enjoy this movie a lot. I have a poster of it hanging up.
Yeah.
Not because it's like my favorite movie of all time, but I just really enjoy the fact of how much effort he put into this movie.
Yeah.
Of making it exactly how he wanted to make it, and like really going after the quality and really pinpointing his vision of like, I want this movie to be on beat to the music, because he's needing the music to keep going and keep himself on beat to make sure he doesn't get caught by the cops, right? So just because of my enjoyability of it and the fact that I respect it, I'm going to give it a 9.
Yeah. Hey, and that's fair. Everybody has their movie. I mean, and I did enjoy it. I thought Ansel Elgort was great in it. Just because, I mean, the way that he would glide through each scene, he was smooth.
Yeah.
From beginning to the end. Whenever he was driving, even whenever he was walking. When he says he's fast, he runs freaking fast. And he is just on beat that entire time until he loses his music.
Why?
For those couple of scenes where he couldn't like get the music right, you could tell during that last heist. That's the only time we really saw him like trip up. I mean, until ultimately he got caught. But he's like smooth. Like in everything that he does, whenever he's like making a sandwich, he's like tossing the plate behind his back. Like he's just like a smooth guy. Whenever he's talking to Lily James, like for the first time, he's like this kid that doesn't speak 2 words to people, but he's like spitting game to this girl, probably for the first time ever.
That's what I was talking about with Edgar Wright's kind of kitschy style, where it's, you know, they talk very stylistically, because again, he's talking smoothly. They all kind of talk smooth. They say like the right thing, you know, just being cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess it's a little not predictable, but yeah, they fit in with the type of characters that they are. Like Jamie Foxx being like, you know, even though they're working in a group, he's still a criminal, you know, so whenever he like shoots people or turns on them, you expect it, you know? Even when John Hamm was pretty freaking cool until they killed his wife. But that was like the number one thing about those 2 characters, were that they were like madly in love. So,
they were a duo.
Yes.
They never went on a heist or a job without each other.
Yes. So when he lost her, it's not surprising to us that he's going to like fight tooth and nail to kill Baby.
Yeah.
You know?
Right.
So you expect each character to act in the way that they did.
Speaking of Jamie Foxx's character, first of all, Jamie Foxx is extremely talented. Yes. He's an actor. So it's cool that they had him, who is somebody that can captivate the screen every time he's on it, to be the one that steps in and like controls the scenes with Baby. Because when Baby's on screen before we see Bats, which is Jamie Foxx, you know, he's gliding through the scenes. He's making it cool. Like he's dancing to the music. The intro scene, every little thing that the music says, there's like graffiti that kind of like signals what the song is saying. He's dancing to it all the way through. But when Jamie Foxx comes in, phenomenal actor, and his presence is just felt. Because Jamie Foxx can just take a scene because he's just that talented. And then his character is also super powerful, and is also the main opposition against Ansel Elgort's character, Baby. So it's like, picking Jamie Foxx is pretty solid, because he literally does take over the scenes. Like, you kind of forget about Baby when he's in the scenes, because he's the dominant force every single time.
Yeah, I will agree with that. Like, now looking back at especially that first one, it's like a record scratch. He like walks in and it's like, you know, when Jamie Foxx shows up.
Yeah.
And then Jamie Foxx is like the first heist where I guess he notices that people die. I noticed that he like tripped up by seeing like Jamie Foxx kill somebody. I was like, have you not seen that? You've been on other heists before, and he's just like either not paid attention, but it seemed like the first time Jamie Foxx kills somebody, he was like, whoa.
No, yes. Yes, but he's always hid it from himself. That's the first time he actually saw it happen, because there's the first few heists or jobs that he went on when he was a getaway driver, he would, like when they robbed the armored truck to get the money or whatever they got, when he drops them off, he scoots forward and hides himself so he doesn't look. He doesn't want to see, and he looks and he sees they killed some guy. And like, oh, he's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And then drives him off. And then the bank heist, he's not looking, he's dancing. He sees him like shoot guns. He's like, kind of like,
anxious.
Struggling with it.
Yeah.
So because he's not a criminal. He can just drive a car really well.
Yeah. And he ended up finding himself in a spot at a very young age that he had to pay off a debt.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, it's kind of like you said, like the internal struggle. It's like, it's what you have to do. And then he didn't really care. He was kind of like just doing it until he met Lily James. He had something else to live for, and he had something else that he wanted past, getting out with Kevin Spacey, which I'm just like, did you ever really think you were going to get out of that? Like, come on.
I mean, yeah, Kevin Spacey is a career criminal, so you got to at least kind of be worried about it.
Well, and we were just talking about how the characters do exactly what we expect them to.
And I noticed this time watching it that whenever Baby asks him, we're squared away, or he's like, am I done? He's like,
he said, we're straight.
Like, yep, you're paid up. He's never said you were done. He's like, you're paid up?
Yeah, or he said, we're straight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He never said, yep, you're good, you're done. He always he said, your debt's paid off. That's it.
Yeah.
Like, you paid off your debt. You can now get the full cash amount.
Yeah.
Which they get insane payouts. I mean, he gets $10K. That's like his that's like his shit money.
Yeah.
That's with it seemed like 99% of his cash being taken away. He had a duffel bag full of money. He just gave him 10 grand.
Yeah, and they're like they're in Atlanta the entire time.
Okay, that's right.
I was like, what? Like, how have they not caught on to them?
Because Baby's fast. And they also, I mean, you really see these action scenes and they're like, got it staged. Like, they pull in a parking garage, hop in a different car, get away. It's like, they're on the money. Like, they literally park, get out, new car, drive away. We're clear.
Yeah.
Although they're not all wearing gloves, I don't think. Maybe they were. But a lot of times they would like touch the car when they would leave. Or Baby would like throw away his gloves, and it's like, isn't that evidence?
Yeah. Well, but it kind of seems like Kevin Spacey also goes back and like does a good job at cleaning up after them. Like, it seems like his network is pretty wide.
Yeah, he's got dirty cops.
Yeah.
He's, obviously he's got the crime world underneath him.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's that to cover up all the mess ups that happen, I guess, the small ones that can be shoveled under.
Yeah. When I really like a character and it's like this type of predicament, I get so freaking anxious. Like, during these movies, I'm like, oh, he's gonna get caught. Like, I know he is.
That's sign of a good movie. You always get mad when you get. You always get mad when you're anxious about like a scene.
No, I was like,
but I'm like, that's a sign that it's good. You're enjoying it.
Yeah, it means
filmmakers making you feel something.
Yeah, exactly. But I hate that feeling. I don't like that.
It's funny though, because when you look at Baby Driver or Baby's traumatic past and the trauma he deals with, he got into a car crash when he was a little baby that killed his parents, specifically his mom, who he looked up to highly because she was a good singer, pretty, it was his mom. He's a little boy. And then he's in the backseat of the car. So you think, like, most of the time, like in real life, when it's like a traumatic car crash, actually, maybe this is true. When you're in a traumatic car crash, it seems like most people, they are scared of cars, like they're scared of car rides. And so it's funny that him being the passenger when that happened, that car crash happens, he feels like now the way he deals with it, he has to be in the driver's seat.
Yeah, it's control. It's a control thing.
He's mastered the car.
Yeah.
Because he's like, I need to, this killed my mom, so I got to master this vehicle.
Yeah.
So that's why he became a master, because it's kind of cool looking into that deeper, because he wasn't in control when his mom got killed. They were arguing. He was distracted. So now he's full focus behind the wheel.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah. I mean, this isn't the same thing, but when I was in a car crash, I was a passenger, and I couldn't be a passenger in a car for a long time.
You had to drive?
I had to drive. I think it's a control issue.
Now you're a forever passenger.
Hey. Hey, I like to drive sometimes.
I always be driving.
I like to drive sometimes. But when we just went to the little market down the street and I like pulled up to pick you up, I was like, let's go. I was like, should I blast the music? It's Taylor Swift the entire time.
It's such a badass intro to the movie.
Yeah.
Because it's cool seeing him dance to the music. It's all on beat, whatever. And then when the chase kicks off, I mean, the car chase scene is just insane. I mean, so beautifully shot. It's so intense, but you know what's going on. It's almost like a short film in itself.
Yeah.
The entire action sequence is just like a whole piece by itself. You could like watch that and be like, that was cool, and be satisfied with what you watched.
Yeah.
And that seems like what like every scene in the movie is like that. Like every scene seems like it's a badass sequence because the music, the soundtrack, they play to the soundtrack.
Yeah. It's start to finish of an entire song. And yeah, I thought so. One, on top of that, I felt like the first car chase scene almost felt like the last one of a heist movie. Like I was like, wow, this is like intense. Like this almost feels like a finale. Like he almost gets caught so many times. And this is just the beginning.
Yeah.
But that's also to show you what he can really do, you know, from the beginning and to kind of hook you in.
Yeah, because it truly does. It does a great job because it truly shows his mastery behind the wheel.
Yeah.
Because obviously the drifts are cool, all that kind of shit, but you also see the skill between like noticing there's two red cars driving next to each other. Okay, let's get between them.
Yeah.
All right, let's drive ahead and slam our brakes on so they have to get over. So now we all swap places, and now I can just exit and leave. So there's like you uncover just how badass he is. He's not just a badass driver that can do cool drifts and, you know, skirt the car around two other cars. He has he's thinking. He's like noticing shit, getting stuff done, like hiding himself.
Yeah.
It's a badass intro.
Yeah. Yeah, I really like that one. And then I like how at the beginning of every heist he has to start the song at the beginning because there's a certain time that he knows that they're going to be ready because he's timed it out. You know, he's very intelligent, like you said. Even whenever he's breaking down when they think he's not listening and he's really reading lips, which was something that I also wanted to touch on, was how much that he loves music, and that is a big part of the movie. I feel like him as a character, he doesn't really need it, you know, because it's really just to drown out the ringing that he has, but he can read lips and he can sign. So then at the end, when he kind of like, we never find out if he gets his hearing back, you know, he just doesn't have it at the end. Well, I guess whenever he's in jail, right?
He can get hearing aids.
He gets it.
Probably.
Well, yeah. But as much as it was a big part of the movie, it's not like he relies on it. You know, it's like a big part of him.
I'd say he does rely on the music. That's the whole point.
Well, I mean, I guess like just on like the hearing part. That's just my whole point, is that music and like hearing is such a big part of him, but he can also sign and read lips.
You're saying just in his day-to-day.
Yeah, that I'm just like pointing something out, I guess.
Okay, yeah, you're saying he has multiple skills.
No, I guess. Yeah.
I think he definitely needs it when he drives.
Yeah.
The music.
Yeah. Well, because he's gotten used to like timing stuff out like that.
But losing his hearing in the real world, he's able to function.
Exactly. That's what I mean, is that if at the end, whenever John Hamm shoots a gun on either side of his
which is a fucking that's
man,
a dick
I know,
move, bro.
Like,
such a dick move.
And then he was like, I'm going to take away what you love. When he first did that, I thought he meant the music, that he was taking away his hearing.
Both.
I mean, yeah. And then
when
he was
in the diner? You're saying in the diner?
No, whenever he like says, I'm going to take away what you love, and he shoots him on either side of his head.
Yeah.
And then like for a split second, I thought he just meant his hearing. But then he turns and goes towards Lily James. So I guess it is like kind of both, because he knows how much he loves music. So what I'm saying is that as much as he loves it, it's like even if he lost his hearing, he could still be functional, is what I'm saying. Is that he can fully sign and read lips. That's how he was doing it during the meetings.
But he would probably get depressed.
Yeah. Yeah.
because he was constantly listening to music. I
Yeah.
wonder.
And then he's not able to listen to his mom's voice for the last time before he goes to jail.
Yeah, you just feel it.
Yeah.
I wonder if him losing his hearing like that would cure his tinnitus, or would it make it worse?
I don't know.
Getting your eardrums blown out, would that like reset your tinnitus, or would you like
yeah, factory
make it worse?
restart.
Yeah.
I don't think so. I think it would just make it way worse.
But you think like if he lost his hearing and it's muted?
Well, then he probably wouldn't have the ringing anymore.
Well, when he was in the car talking to Deborah, it seemed like we were listening to it from his point of view.
Yes, it was muffled. Yeah.
So it was muffled, right? There was no ringing.
Yeah, there was no ringing, and then whenever he put his hand on the speaker, we're like hearing that he can recall what the song is because he's probably listened to it over and over. It's his mother singing.
Yeah.
So he can sense the
he can
vibrations.
Feel the vibes.
Yes, like sense the vibrations and then like almost like hear the song in his head.
Yeah.
So that's why we can hear it so clearly whenever he puts his hand on it.
Yeah.
And so that's like, I guess that's kind of what I mean is that if that were like a long-term thing, he could still like feel it. You know what I mean?
I was thinking when I was watching, I was like, because I forgot you did hear the mother's voice singing, and before that you couldn't hear it because obviously you can't hear it, just like very vaguely hear it. She's like, your mother has a beautiful voice. And Deborah says that to Baby. And you're kind of like, I was thinking, it's kind of smart that they didn't show you her voice, so that way you just like, you know, you can kind of in your own mind see that her voice is like the most beautiful voice ever. And they do play it, and you're kind of like, that's all right.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I was like, I thought it was pretty, and then at some parts I was like, ooh, a little pitchy.
Well, I was thinking like, it's good that they don't show you because then you don't have any judgments against it. You're not like judging her voice, and then they play it. I'm like, I'm totally judging her voice right now. Yeah, but so who's your favorite character?
I think Baby.
Okay, besides Baby,
I love
who's
Baby.
your favorite criminal?
I guess John Hamm. I think the two of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely over Jamie Foxx.
You don't like Darling? You don't like Darling over Buddy?
No, I feel like I like John Hamm in damn near everything he's in. He's just such a, I don't know, even though he's a criminal but he was like nice to Baby and he was bonding with Baby until his wife died. And then it's like, okay, well.
But so you were saying that you kind of expect things to happen, but you expect Bats to be the main antagonist that's going to be the final battle.
Yeah.
But Baby gets so pissed at him that he just fucking kills him.
Yeah.
At the beginning of like the end of the movie.
Yeah.
And so then John Hamm turns on him. So like you're kind of like, oh shit, John Hamm is the bad guy.
Yeah.
So that's kind of a diversion of your expectations, seeing John Hamm become the bad guy.
Yeah. Maybe just at the end, but I think at the movie as a whole, I would see Jamie Foxx as the main like bad guy.
But not really. Yep. Yeah.
But
for sure.
not in the end, like because the final, I guess, battle was with John Hamm, but like Jamie Foxx, like you said, was disrupting his flow the entire movie since he came into the picture.
Yeah.
Which, you know, I also like Jamie Foxx, so it's like when you like actors, you know, and they're in roles like that, you're like, oh man.
But again, that plays to his skill level.
Yeah.
Where he just captivates you in the scenes because he's just that good.
Yeah, because he is so likable.
He is like
even when he's like him,
even when you hate him,
yeah,
you still like him.
Yeah, like I'm trying to think of a role like that John Hamm was in that I really didn't like him. I mean, he played like that douchebag in Bridesmaids, and I haven't seen Mad Men, but I guess he's the
main character.
Yeah,
you gotta like him.
Oh, do you? Is he like I know nothing about it.
Well,
that's what I mean.
Everybody. I mean, you have to like the main character.
Yeah. What else?
Even Tony Soprano. You know, he's a bad guy, but you love him.
Yeah. Tag. Did you see Tag?
Yeah.
He was in that one. I liked him in that one. He's just funny. He's a really cool. I listened to him on Smartless too. And he has a pretty cool start. He was teaching acting for a long time before he got like his big break, and he was a little on the older end whenever he started his career.
Yeah, I guess I've never seen any young John Hamm movies.
Yeah. He was pretty far along.
Let me pull up his resume. Because, yeah, you're right.
Yeah. He was in Maverick, too, recently.
Because I think of him as a giant actor, but he's really not. He's like kind of like a medium-tiered actor. He's not like DiCaprio or, even like Ryan Gosling, who's playing like these giant Hollywood budget movies. Like, he's not hitting those gigantic Hollywood budget movies.
I don't think he starred in a movie that I can think of, just in Mad Men.
Yeah, you're right.
That he was the lead, like the lead.
Like a good one, yeah.
Yeah, the only one.
He's in Invincible.
Ooh, who's he playing in?
Let me see. It's kind of far down his list, so he might play a smaller character. Speaking of Invincible, we were just watching we've been watching Fallout, and Walton Goggins, the ghoul, he plays Cecil.
Oh yeah.
I didn't know that.
Okay, because my dad was I was like, where have we seen him before? Because I know I've seen his face somewhere else and I couldn't place it. But definitely his voice now that you say that.
So John Hamm played a character named Steve in Invincible. Who's that?
I don't.
Just some off character.
Oh. Lily James was also pretty good. I mean, she plays she played the same type of character in like Iron Claw. That's just like the love interest, and she's cute and she's smart and funny and everything. Yes.
Yeah.
Lily James.
Yeah.
I like her in everything she's in too. She's really good.
Yeah, because she plays like a sweet, innocent girl that, is cute, and you like want to root for her.
Yeah.
Because she has no bad qualities, you know?
Yeah, she's good.
You're like, no.
She's Cinderella.
Stay away from the crime.
Yeah. She does play a good, like, kind of like that squeaky clean that you feel like that she'll run away from his type of lifestyle. But she kind of never questioned it once. Like, there was never really a scene. I was expecting a scene for her to be like, no, get away from me, you're a criminal, even for 5 seconds. But there was none of that. She was kind of just like, hop in the car and go. Because she knows who he is.
And she also knows that he doesn't want to do this.
Yeah.
She saw it on his face, and when he talked about his job, he didn't like it. So she knows he doesn't want to do this.
Yeah.
And so in her, she sees in his heart. Plus, he's a little bad boy. He's a little sweetie and a bad boy.
Yeah, he's like a smooth, like charming. Like, he just has like a sweet face, and he, like grandmas love him. It's kind of like you, He's just.
I don't really see how Ansel Elgort is like a heart-throbbing. Wasn't he like a big crush for women back in the day?
In the Fault in Our Stars.
Oh yeah.
But even then, I feel like he's like on the cusp of being like attractive. I think he has like too much fluff in his face.
Like, he's clearly not a bad looking dude.
No, I mean, he's good looking.
We're talking like Gosling level.
No, and even when I was
Brad
younger,
Pitt level.
Even when I was younger, he wasn't like he was like, because he was big at the time. He was one of like the bigger, because he was in Divergent, in those two.
Yeah, I think the reason why I'm kind of like almost like against his like heart throbbing is because he just plays these roles that are just like the Divergent roles, like the teenage girl roles. That's what it is.
Yeah,
it's all teenage girl roles. We're just like,
The Fault in Our Stars. He played. He was. I mean, I think the most recent thing that he was in was West Side Story.
I didn't see that.
I didn't either. But
we watched the same movies.
Yeah. I wanted to go and see that when it came out, like Christmas 2 years ago or something. We still haven't seen it.
Sorry, bro.
But he plays the lead in that one.
No, I'm not saying he's not a good lead. I'm saying I don't see the attractiveness that I would think girls would see.
Yeah, I think when I was younger, I definitely did, but now, no. I mean, he does have a baby face.
He's good for this role, I think.
Yeah, I thought he was perfect for this role.
The one thing that I felt was a little bit cringy about him in this movie that I'm kind of like, is whenever, I think when he like lip sings the songs or sings the songs.
Yeah, at the beginning.
Yeah, the beginning is okay. Yes, it feels a little off, but that's just the song, I think. when you hear him stop singing and you just hear the song, the go, go, go.
Yeah.
That just sounds bad in general.
Yeah.
So hearing him do it, I give him a little bit of slack there because it just kind of sounds bad anyway. It feels like it's not even on beat.
Yeah. You know, now that you say that, I think I went into this movie thinking that he was deaf.
Yeah, no, not deaf.
I know. I don't know why I thought that, but then I think at the beginning scene where you don't really like hear if he's like mouthing it or if he's like speaking, I still thought that. And then I heard him speak and I was like, oh, okay.
And then there's another scene when he is the body he sunsets that car with the dead body in it.
Yeah.
And the car gets crushed and he's walking out and he's listening to Easy on a Sunday morning.
Yes.
And he's
he
like
runs
mouth.
up to the Oh no!
Well, yeah,
okay,
that was
okay,
corny.
Okay.
It was corny too. When he's listening to the song, strolling, he like runs up to a can, like kicks it. It's like,
well, he runs up to it to kick it on beat. Did you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's almost like he sees an opportunity.
Yeah.
He did do that.
He's always in a music video.
I laughed so hard when he did that.
Yeah, that was kind of corny. But then he's kind of like lip sings a song, and it's like, we know you're listening to the song. You don't have to lip sing it.
Yeah.
Like, we know you're vibing to it. We're vibing to it too until I just saw you sing it.
Whenever he's like piano tapping
that was cool.
Okay, and it was annoying Jamie Foxx.
Yeah.
My brother used to do that shit all the time, and I was like, can you stop? Like, it would drive me nuts.
Why are you getting pissed at nothing, bro? That's just sibling shit.
I don't know. It was, yeah, I think that's what it was.
You're just trying
like,
to get mad at him just to get mad at him.
No, but it was like annoying. It was like he would be listening to something and he's just like drumming.
It can be
and
annoying.
Like tapping like on the car, and I'm just like, oh
piano
my
though,
gosh.
you're just tapping your fingers, just moving your fingers.
Yeah,
no
that's
noise,
fine. I'm talking about him making noise.
You're like, can you stop, please?
He would like do this like on the car, like on the hard plastic, and then like on the sides, and that I was
just hell off beat,
so mad.
Like not even on beat.
I mean, it wasn't like bad, but
No,
I was like,
I'm not saying he'd do that. I'm saying just it'd be miserable having somebody just off beat, just banging on shit.
Well, and it would be something if it was like he was doing it to the beat of what we were all listening to, but it was whatever was in his ears at that time.
Oh, I got you. Yeah, that sucks.
So I'm like. And then sometimes I'd try to guess what he was listening.
Yeah,
I was like, what's that sound like?
There's nothing worse than somebody who has earbuds in and they're singing their song.
Yeah.
And you're like, hey, you don't sound like the artist.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, there be people in the store who just have no shame.
Yeah, they will
I'll walk through Kroger, the grocery store, and like, there'll be like girls singing her songs, and I'm like, it's not like terrible, but it's not good.
Yeah.
But
it's like, hey, like, good,
you
do you, girl. Yeah, exactly.
You ain't bothering me too much.
Yeah.
I'm only going to hear this for 5 seconds as I pass you.
Yeah. It's like, hey, maybe it's like better to live that way. Where it's just like, I don't give a fuck. I'm going to enjoy my music in this moment.
Yeah, sometimes I do envy that. But then again, you also have to remember, you also live in a world where you have to be a little bit normal.
Yeah. Yeah.
But sometimes I do think about that. Like, I was listening to the Joe Rogan podcast, the Protect Our Parks deal, where it's like Rogan, Mark Norman, Shane Gillis, and Ari Shaffir, and they just like get on this podcast and just get absolutely hammered. It's pretty funny. But Shane Gillis was talking about when he interviewed John McAfee, and John McAfee is the dude that started the McAfee, like I told you this earlier, started the McAfee virus protection thing on your computers. And that dude only cares about living his life. I'm not saying maybe he is a narcissist, but I'm not saying that in general. I'm saying he's so himself. He's so eccentric. He's like such a wild ass dude. Like I listened to the interview where Shane Gillis and Matt McCusker were interviewing him on their podcast, and that dude is just so wild. Like it's, some people just like, I kind of envy it where they just like don't give a shit. They're living their own world. They don't care if you think I'm weird. I don't give a fuck. I'm living my life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's kind of like, damn, that's kind of nice.
Yeah.
Then, you think about your life. You're like, well, maybe I should. I should. It's like, maybe I should. Maybe I should just, I think John McAfee, genius guy, super smart. He like built a meth lab in his backyard. I think he was out of the country. I think he was in the U.S. but like built a meth lab and like was putting it all on the internet, showing people like how badass his meth lab was and like how perfect the meth is, and like showing like literally being Walter White, but for meth. Did Walter White do meth? Yeah, he did meth. Yeah, literally being like Walter White.
Literally Walter White, but with meth.
I was gonna say, yeah, it is meth. I was thinking heroin, but no, it's meth.
Yeah.
But John McAfee was literally just being Heisenberg, like mixing it up, measuring it up, bragging about his meth lab. And you're like, bro, you're like 50 years old. What are you doing smoking meth? You're a billionaire, bro.
Yeah. I mean, I love how your first thing is you're 50 years old. It's like, well maybe nobody should be doing meth.
Well, I mean 50 years old as in like he's a successful man that's in his 50s.
Yeah.
Making
I'd be curious what country that was.
I don't know. Let's look it up.
He went like on what, Instagram Live? And was like, hey, look at all my...
No, not Instagram Live. He's not like a social media guy. He's an internet. He works with... He used to work with like governments with like secret like viruses, how to stop viruses, how to put viruses on computers.
I'm sure because McAfee is like one of the biggest antiviral companies.
Yeah, he apparently he allegedly killed himself. They say
allegedly,
but he also was a weird guy, so he could have like he's a little wild.
Yeah,
but I think we're getting. Let's not dive into the John McAfee. I was about to
say like, wow, we really veered away.
Well, we talked about it. Let's figure out what country he cooked meth in, and then we'll move on.
Can you think of anything else that Darling was in? Darling?
I don't know. Let's look it up after I look up the meth lab.
Also, Ansel Elgort pulled off a pretty good, like, subtle Southern accent.
Belize. Cooking meth in Belize. All right. Moving on from John McAfee. What were you saying?
Subtle Southern accent.
They both did.
Yeah. Yeah. By both, you mean also Deborah?
Yeah, Baby and Deborah.
That's why I thought too. Yeah, those two out of all of them like had
that Georgia accent.
Yeah, it wasn't Texan, you know.
No.
It was like kind of a little deeper.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like kind of like that is in The Office that they're doing the role playing thing and Andy's like a Georgia accent like rolls off the tongue like syrup or something like that.
Yeah.
They did kind of sound like that. But it was subtle. It wasn't too much.
Right.
It was very believable.
Genuine.
Yeah, it made me remember where they were at.
And it helps too that Ansel Elgort's character is playing like a guy that doesn't talk much.
Yeah.
So his voice is like quieter, not much power to it.
Yeah.
So like it's a subtler Southern accent because his voice is so subtle.
Yeah. This would be an easy remake. Like further down the line,
No.
like if our kids generation remade this.
No.
Yeah, it's a cool concept and it's pretty.
Yeah, but there's no need to remake it. Why would you advocate for a remake?
I don't know. I just always like, because we are in the age of remakes, I think we're kind of phasing out of it. I'm not saying that you should remake like every movie. I'm just saying if they were to, I think, you know, that would be an easy one to assign, like whatever A-list actors are out by that point, like to these specific characters. They're like easy characters to play because, like we were talking about, they're very stylistic and kind of predictable in what they're going to do. You know, they're exactly who the inside of the book fits the cover type of thing.
What's cool about the characters too is that they all have a uniform.
Yeah.
They all have their own colors.
Yeah.
Baby is black and white, and it's cool that Deborah is also black and white.
Yeah.
So you know they team up together. They match their vibes.
Mm-hmm.
John Hamm is black. Darling is pink and purple, and then Bats is red.
Yeah.
Which is Jamie Foxx. So like every scene, they literally have their own colors.
Yeah.
Like they're always in the same kind of looks, so like you can separate them very easily.
Yeah.
Just like Edgar Wright does such a great job of just, again, he's like.
What other movies has he done?
Edgar Wright?
Yeah.
Hot Fuzz, Scott Pilgrim.
Oh, Scott Pilgrim. I missed out on that episode. I love that movie.
The zombie one. What's it called? Look it up.
Zombieland?
No. That's Zack Snyder. I think.
Oh, that's right.
Shaun of the Dead.
Oh.
He did Last Night in Soho.
Oh, I want to see that one. That one has the chick from Queen's Gambit.
Yes.
Yeah.
Scott watched it. He said he didn't like it.
Oh.
The World's End.
Can't think of that one.
Yeah. But
Alvin and the Chipmunks?
he probably was a voice in it.
Ah.
No way he made it. But he always has these like very stylistic movies like this.
Yeah,
where
like Scott Pilgrim.
So these characters that wear specific outfits, they all like play this like, it's all so much wrapped into, it's not realistic at all. The characters aren't realistic people. You can relate to them, but they're not like a realistic person. They're not trying to hit the realism. It's all about doing it for the movie, and they're entertaining you and like putting on a show.
And that's what I think made me want to watch this movie. Because normally, if I just read like a synopsis, I probably wouldn't want. It's not something that I normally grab for in the type of movie that I enjoy. I don't really enjoy like just pure action, like heist movies.
Love story.
I think it is kind of like iconic in its style, and that was what was kind of making me drawn to it. It's kind of like Scott Pilgrim. It's just cool looking.
Yeah.
You know, it's very aesthetically pleasing.
That's all of Edgar Wright's movies, because Edgar Wright will do these. He always does like visual jokes. He works with the frame to like tell you something. It's not a realistic, hard-hitting movie. It's a fun, entertaining show he's putting on. Which are, that's why I like his movies a lot. Like I don't. A lot of people would probably argue against the way he makes movies. Not saying that they would argue against him, because I think most people respect him as a filmmaker. But people that were to teach how to make a movie, they're not going to say to follow Edgar Wright, because it's his style. And most people would say like it's not realistic. People don't talk like that, so don't write your characters like that. But Edgar Wright, he's in his own lane. He's got his own thing.
Well, and like you have to understand the rules to be able to break them. So I feel like once you like kind of get your footing on how to make movies, then you can figure out like actual ways to break those rules that's going to be beneficial to the overall look of it, and then that becomes your style, but I think you still have to. I would agree that they probably wouldn't teach those types of choices that he made, but that's just people that are even trying to get a grasp for the bones of it. They tell us that in Hair, like understanding the principles, and then you can kind of stray away from it and make it your own.
Yeah, he does a great job of kind of adapting stuff and making it his own unique way. He makes the movies that it's his touch. It's his artist touch. Like I could show you a movie, like I would, like if I put on Hot Fuzz, you would be like, oh, that's probably Edgar Wright.
Yeah.
Because it's witty, the camera's creatively shot. It's he's got his own deal, and I enjoy watching his movies.
Who do you think are the most like stylistic directors like that?
I think Guy Ritchie's pretty stylistic. I think Edgar Wright's pretty stylistic. Tarantino obviously has got his own deal.
That's what I was gonna say, but also
every filmmaker has their own style, but the ones that are like super stylistic.
No, like the guy, what is his name? Fantastic Mr. Fox.
Oh yeah, Wes Anderson.
Yes, you can like point out one of his movies like from a mile away.
Easy, yeah.
Or Tim Burton.
Yeah,
a Tim Burton movie.
Even Zack Snyder has like his wild ass, way to shoot a movie.
Yeah.
Like 300. Super. That's not his style. 300 is not like what he did for other movies.
Yeah.
But Zack Snyder's got his like big action. He wants like visually crazy. That's like his whole deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm a fan of Edgar Wright. I'm a fan of this movie. It's a good one.
Yeah. I was gonna bring up, it made me think of Goodfellas whenever, where we were talking about that like end scene where the camera's moving really, really fast. So you start to get anxious because like there's no like steady part of the camera. I noticed that a lot, that I was like getting anxious from the camera work.
Really?
Because it was so fast paced. You're going really fast with him. Like if he was moving fast, it's like the camera's moving fast and you're just kind of like trying to notice everything around him because he's looking everywhere. and it's just chaotic.
Yeah.
And it gets your adrenaline pumping for the car chases, and it's fun. But for me, it's just like,
yeah,
I'm just like stressed
so stressed
out.
It's cool too because he'll do stuff where you feel Baby's feelings by, I think it's the first, I forget what happens in the movie. I can't think of it. There's a time when the second time you see him go get coffee, it's not smooth. He's bumping into people. There's no music.
Yes. Yeah. That was the time that Jamie Foxx told him, like, or somebody told him, like, go get the coffee. Instead of, like, him going to go get it, and he's all, like, has a pep in his step. It was after the one with Jamie Foxx, the first one with Jamie Foxx, where he comes back and the guy is gone. Because they had kind of botched the job.
That's right.
Yeah.
The guy got killed. And he had yeah.
Yeah, and that was, like I said, that wasn't the first time he had seen Jamie Foxx kill somebody, but that's the first time he had seen him, like, kill, like, one of their people that they brought on.
Yeah.
You know, so that's where he's starting to figure Jamie Foxx out.
Yeah, and I mean, you can see so many times that Baby doesn't want violence. He's not a criminal. He's just driving the cars.
Yeah.
And so when he sees that the people he's working for literally just killed somebody, a part of the crew,
yeah,
he's like, dude, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Because he hates the violence. You see it time and time again.
Yeah. And at the end, all the testimonies that ultimately led to his sentencing, I mean, he got 25 years, but parole after 5. So he only served like 5 years. And whenever everybody's coming up on the stand, it's almost like they're like picking through the entire movie and finding the parts where he did make good choices.
Yeah.
And then like putting them in a list. And so at the end, it kind of like just reiterates that he is a good person, even though he did go to prison. And that's usually like the thing you never want to happen. You never want the main character to get caught. But it's almost like you're okay with it.
And they still give you the happy ending.
Yeah. He comes out and at first I was like, oh man, well she's probably, and then he gets that giant stack of postcards and I was like, oh, she waited for him. That's kind of crazy after only seeing someone for like a couple of weeks.
Well, it's only 5 years.
Yeah, but like 2 weeks of dating and then he goes to prison.
I bet it was longer than that. We don't know how long it was.
Well,
and they have the same, they love music, they love driving cars.
Yeah, I mean, I guess whenever you
Match made in heaven.
Yeah.
Deborah.
I'm
Baby.
Maybe it's kind of predictable and they do exactly what you think, because is that realistic? Maybe not. Maybe it is. I don't know. I don't know if I was okay, so I'm not saying like you, but I'm just saying hypothetically, the modern woman, I don't know if you're seeing someone for 2 weeks and then they go to prison, if you're waiting 5 years for them to get out.
Okay, but it wasn't 2 weeks.
That's all I'm saying. Well, it wasn't years?
No, but it was months. Because you...
Okay, a month.
No. You got to think about between jobs. You have to wait for the heat to cool down. That takes time.
Okay.
You have to have the police forget about the crime. And they're like, case is off. We don't know. And then you get another job. So that whole time they were talking. So like that's months.
Maybe. I mean, we saw them go on one date. I don't know.
No, they did more. They went to the laundromat. They did the one date later. They were hanging out.
Oh, yeah, you're right. They went to the laundromat. They went on one other date.
It was more time.
And then they talked on the phone. You're right.
Look,
and then she waited 5 years for him to get out of jail.
They didn't show it, so you can infer as the audience that they've been dating for quite some time. Okay. And have fell deeply in love.
Okay. I mean, he did say that he loved her, and she heard that before he went.
There you go.
So, okay. Well,
get off my back,
all right,
bro.
Hopeless romantic. I'm just trying to be like a little bit of a realist here, not a pessimist, just a realist. And should we change the subject? Oh, that was also a good scene with the nephew. The nephew, you can tell that like Kevin Spacey's kind of, I don't know, not like, what's that word, Kevin Spacey? I don't want to say like grooming him into the business, but like, yeah, I mean, I guess he notices what happens. I can't remember that Baby's like super thrown off. Is it that he makes him take his earbuds out so he can't focus? I think that's what it is, because he has to walk in there without his earbuds and without his sunglasses with the nephew to make it more believable. And so I think he can't focus.
Yeah, he's struggling to. You're right, because I mean, you see Baby before, and he's like in the meetings, and he's like, he's got it. Yeah. He's on cue. He can memorize it first draft.
Yeah, but the ringing is like he can't focus with the ringing.
Yeah,
because the music drowns it out.
Yep.
So, and then that's when they meet the teller, and then, and then that also gives him a connection to like real people that this is affecting. Looking someone in the eyes, having a conversation, realizing that she's a nice person, and man, that one little head shake just threw everything downhill. But
trying to be a good person.
Well, and it came back. She was one of the people on the stand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Talk about Edgar Wright's kitschiness. It's like, Baby's real name is Miles.
Yeah, so kind of a letdown.
It's like that's like, okay, of course his name is Miles. He drives a car.
Yeah.
Like it's that kind of stuff where it's like, that's not realistic, but that's not what the movie's not trying to be realistic.
No, but it's very predictable. His name is Miles.
You wouldn't have predicted his name was Miles.
No,
You're like, okay.
I mean, but it's very fitting whenever you find out. Yeah. I mean, there's millions of names in the world. How do I know that they were not going to give him, like, I don't know, Jim?
Rhodey?
Jeff? What if they gave him, like, the most...
State Trooper?
Chad.
Derek. Yeah.
Kade.
What a badass name. That's all I got on Baby Driver. Mercedes, you got any final thoughts?
Vroom, vroom. I don't know. I mean, I did really enjoy it. Not really enjoy it. It was good. I liked it.
It was good.
Don't hate on me.
It's a fun movie to watch. I'm not going to say it's one of the best movies ever made, but it's one of my favorite movies because I love the way it was made, and I also love the way it's shot. And I think it's a really enjoyable and fun movie to watch with some badass sequences, multiple sequences, from the car chases to the foot chases.
Yeah, the foot chases were really good.
They're on point. They're truly on point. Performances are great too.
Camera go back. He's gone.
Yeah.
He's fast.
Yeah, it's a good movie. A little bit of corniness sometimes, but that's kind of what Edgar Wright plays to. It's kind of his style. He gives into it. But overall, big thumbs up. Mercedes gave it a 7.5.
Yes.
I gave it a 9.
Did that flip-flop from Roadhouse?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. I'll die on that hill.
All right. Thank you guys for watching the CRWN Cinema Podcast. Leave a comment what you think about Baby Driver, and also leave us a like. It helps us out. And we'll see you next week. We're out.
I've been working like a dog trying to buy my next meal. Seems all